Just after graduating, MC's beautiful girlfriend dumped him for a giant guy, over 2.5 meters tall. He weighed 300 kilos, but MC's life flipped when Su Yufei, the campus beauty, suddenly called him. They'd met just once, shared drinks, and spent a drunken night at a hotel, then never spoke again. Suddenly, Su Yufei begged him to come to the hospital. She was in labor, and doctors needed a signature. MC was confused and refused, insisting he wasn't family. Then Su Yufei dropped a truth that floored him. She claimed those babies were his. MC didn't buy it. He thought she was just offloading someone else's kids. Right as he went to hang up, a mysterious superdad system activated. His first mission: sign that form. The reward was 200,000 yuan. Another mission offered baby supplies for staying through the delivery. The final mission involved naming the babies, with a luxury apartment as the prize. MC realized they were his. He rushed to the hospital to find the truth. Su Yufei's friend was comforting her, and everyone looked panicked. They were waiting on that signature. The doctor revealed Su Yufei was carrying quadruplets, a high-risk, complicated birth. Still in shock, MC signed the forms anyway. The system instantly transferred the money to his bank account. Seeing such a huge reward for a small act, he knew this was just the start for Yufei. Her friend confronted MC, blaming him for abandoning Yufei during her pregnancy. MC insisted that night was mutual. Before they could argue further, Yufei hit labor pains. Nurses rushed her inside while they waited outside. MC finally accepted that a single unexpected night had made him a father. He decided not to run. After a tense wait, the doctor emerged with great news. The delivery was successful. 4 healthy babies born. 3 girls and 1 boy. She was exhausted, but mother and babies were doing perfectly fine, thank goodness. MC felt relieved. He decided to grab food, though he knew nothing about caring for a new mother. The system rewarded him with a complete encyclopedia on infant care. It promised better rewards for his involvement. When MC finally entered her room, he thanked her sincerely and called her his wife. It felt right. Yufei was shocked. She never expected him to stay. She'd planned to raise them alone if necessary. MC gently cut her off. This wasn't just her burden, these were his children, and he was their father. He promised they'd raise their kids together and build a happy, stable family from the ground up. Yufei teared up at his sincerity. She finally believed he was truly committed to staying by her side. Once the campus queen, abandoned by her own family after the pregnancy, she found hope at last. They had a fresh start with 4 tiny lives. MC asked tenderly if she was still in pain. She nodded, saying it was better now. After such a long surgery, he knew she needed rest. MC pulled out a meal he'd bought, wishing he could cook for her. Suddenly, a nurse stepped in. The nurse advised against heavy foods like rice right now. She needed light soup to recover properly. MC already knew this thanks to his system knowledge, but he played it off to keep his secret. He just told her he'd researched it online. Yufei smiled, already seeing him as a responsible father. MC rushed out to get the right food. Her friend joked that he was already acting like a husband. A nurse reminded MC that when the babies woke, Yufei had to breastfeed. He felt pure joy. The babies were incredibly cute. Everyone agreed they'd surely grow up to be as beautiful as their parents. Seeing his children triggered the system again. This time, he gained 40% ownership of the Junlin group. MC was stunned. Even before Yufei's family business went bankrupt, it was nothing compared to this massive corporation. A week later, they left the hospital. Yufei thanked MC daily, knowing she couldn't have managed alone. When they reached his small rented apartment, Yufei was a bit surprised by the humble setting. MC told her his past. He was once a wealthy heir with properties, before his parents lost everything. He promised they wouldn't be here long. They'd move to a beautiful home soon enough for the kids. The babies started crying, so they chose names. The girls became Ye Shehan, Ye Wenwan, and Ye Jian. Yufei loved the names. When it came to their son, MC jokingly suggested the name Ye Daje. Yufei laughed, teasing that he loved his son more. MC smiled and admitted he was just kidding. He named him Ye Chen, hoping he would grow up calm, strong, and a protector for his sisters. Exhausted after the long day, Yufei asks if she can rest. I gently tell her to sleep. I promise to look after our 4 babies while she rests. The naming ceremony ends, and the system announces another mission complete, awarding me with a luxury apartment in the Sanshan residence. The system says the keys are already in my pocket, while the legal documents and property deeds are tucked away inside a drawer in the living room. I'm wondering how to explain such an expensive place to Yufei when my phone rings. A man calls me, President. He's asking when I'll return to take over the company. That's when it clicks. The 40% stake in Junlin Group makes me the company's largest shareholder and owner. When I arrive, everyone stares at me, clearly thinking I'm in the wrong place. The head seat is reserved for the chairman. But when I declare myself the new owner of Junlin Group, the whole hall erupts in laughter. They can't believe a 20-year-old kid owns such a massive firm. But their laughter dies instantly when the vice chairman, young Ming Shui, approaches me with respect, handing over a 50 million yuan contract and calling me president. My identity is confirmed. I hand over daily operations to Vice Chairman Ming Shui, telling her she doesn't need my approval for routine matters. Afterward, I meet my secretary Zhu Xiaofeng. Feeling a bit embarrassed, I quietly ask if the finance department can transfer 5 million yuan to my account. Xiaofeng smiles, saying since I'm the owner, I could transfer 500 million with just a single word. I give her an awkward smile, saying 5 million is plenty for now. The money hits my account, and with the systems 200,000 yuan, I finally have enough to clear the 3 million yuan debt my parents were saddled with after their business collapsed. With the debt gone, I'll still have plenty to buy a beautiful home for Yufei and our 4 kids. Later, I tell Yufei to get ready. I'm taking her somewhere special. She asks where we're going, but I just smile, keeping it a secret. She worries about who will watch the babies. I reassure her that I've already called her best friend to look after them. We reach the place I promised. As soon as Yufei sees the Sanshan residence, she's stunned. It's the city's most luxurious complex, where even the cheapest unit cost hundreds of millions. I smile, explaining I bought it recently, but hadn't had a chance to show her yet. I wanted us to see our new home together. Yufei can't believe it, but she follows me inside. Suddenly, the scene shifts. From a distance, her ex-boyfriend spots us. He stares in disbelief, thinking he must be seeing things. In his mind, a bankrupt guy like me could never afford to live where only the city's wealthiest reside. As we enter, Yufei is breathless at the luxury. Even the private courtyard is over 400 square meters, a perfect playground for our kids. Every corner is so opulent that Yufei just stands there, amazed. Seeing how much she loves it, I suggest we move in soon. Yufei hesitates, worried about harmful chemicals like formaldehyde in a newly renovated home. She suggests waiting a year. I reassure her that the renovation was completed 3 years ago, so there's nothing to worry about. Yufei lets out a sigh of relief and happily agrees to move in tomorrow. Her best friend is equally shocked by the house, wondering how I became so rich so quickly. I invite her to stay for lunch, but she politely declines because she has other plans. Back home, one of the babies starts crying loudly. Yufei guesses, maybe he's hungry, then asks me to check the third baby's diaper. I admit I've never changed a diaper in my life. I hesitate, but the Super Dad system activates, instantly granting me expert newborn care knowledge. All the information floods my mind, and I change the diaper perfectly, like a pro. Yufei is shocked and asks if I've done this before. I just smile, saying it seemed pretty simple after watching her. Later, Yufei mentions, perhaps we should hire a nanny since looking after 4 newborns is exhausting, especially with my job starting soon. I cut her off, saying there's no need to worry. I've finished graduation, but haven't started work yet. Most importantly, nothing in the world is more valuable to me than my kids. Even though I'm now the owner of the billion yuan Junlin Group, I keep that secret from Yufei for now. I decide to tell her when the time is right. Hearing this, Yufei is moved to tears. She can't believe I'd put my career aside just to be with her and the kids. She jokingly asks who is more important, the kids or her. I don't take a second to answer. My wife is the most important person in my life. She will always be my little princess, no matter how many children we have. Yufei blushes, a beautiful smile lighting up her face. Moments later, the third baby cries again. Yufei reminds me that there are frozen breast milk bags in the fridge and to warm one up. Seeing the frozen milk, I pause, wondering how to heat it correctly. But thanks to the system, I get the temperature perfect. As I feed the baby for the first time, the system rewards me with a Porsche 918 Spider, worth over 10 million yuan. I'm so happy I can't stop smiling. When Yufei asks why I'm grinning, I brush it off and ask what she's in the mood for lunch. Upon hearing this, he immediately offers to go to the market, get fresh ribs, and cook a meal for her himself. Asking her to watch the babies for a bit, he leaves and stops at a luxury dealership to collect his Porsche 918. Coincidentally, he runs into his ex-girlfriend there. She mocks him, asking how a poor guy like him dares to enter such a showroom. She claims he could work his whole life and never afford a supercar, but he remains calm, saying he is here to pick up his own car. She laughs loudly, pointing out that no one would believe a guy who arrived on a public rental bike owns the showroom's most expensive car. Just then, the sales staff politely approaches Yi Chu. Yi Chu introduces himself, explaining he is the owner of the Porsche 918 Spider and has arrived to collect his vehicle. The salesman is shocked, respectfully apologizing and saying they must verify his identity with the manager, as the Porsche 918 Spider is the dealership's most valuable car. Meanwhile, his ex-girlfriend becomes even more convinced he is acting, loudly mocking him in front of everyone. She points at him, claiming he only came for the free snacks and drinks. Hearing this, a showroom employee approaches him, politely suggesting he leave if he isn't buying anything. But Yi Chu stays calm and repeats that he is here to collect his car. His ex-girlfriend laughs again, asking mockingly since when a guy like him had the money for a Porsche. Yi Chu smiles slightly, noting he didn't just buy a Porsche. He bought the Porsche 918 Spider. For a second she goes quiet, but then laughs even harder, reminding everyone that even the cheapest Porsche 918 Spider costs over 13 million yuan. She insists he can't pay for it. Seeing this, security guards step forward, giving Ye Chu 3 seconds to leave the showroom before he is forcibly removed. But just then, the dealership manager runs over, furious, and stops the guards, scolding the staff for failing to recognize one of their most important customers. He immediately fires the employee who tried to kick Ye Chu out, and with deep respect hands over the keys, revealing his brand new Porsche 918 Spider. Chu thanks the manager and smiles at his luxury supercar. He knows it will turn heads everywhere, but his ex-girlfriend still refuses to believe it, insisting the car couldn't possibly be his. The manager calmly explains that they had verified Chu's identity long ago, and he is the true owner of the Porsche 918 Spider. Now the girl has nothing left to say and watches in silence as he drives his 10 million yuan supercar out of the showroom. The scene shifts. Upon reaching home, all 4 babies start crying for milk at once. Yufei asks Chu to warm up the breast milk in the fridge and feed the babies. As he feeds his eldest daughter for the first time, the superdad system activates again. This time he receives god-tier cooking skills as a reward, leaving him pleasantly surprised. The system explains that each baby provides a unique reward upon the first feeding. Chu laughs happily, realizing every child brings a valuable new gift. After putting the babies to sleep, he heads to the kitchen to prepare lunch. Soon, Yufei's best friend Shichi comes to visit. She brought fresh lotus seeds from her hometown, believing they are highly nutritious for new mothers. Yufei thanks her happily and invites her to stay for lunch. During their chat, Shichi learns that Chu has been cooking every meal for Yufei throughout her recovery. On the way here, she had spotted a cool Porsche 918 Spider in the residential area and couldn't stop raving about it. Soon, Chu brings everyone to the dining table. As they see the food, their eyes widen. Every dish was made by Chu himself, and the aroma fills the house. Yufei takes a bite and realizes his cooking has improved significantly. Shichi is completely shocked, feeling that the sweet and sour pork ribs were the most delicious thing she had ever tasted. Everyone enjoys the meal so much that the plates are nearly clean. Seeing the empty plates, Yufei jokingly asks why he didn't eat anything himself. Chu laughs, saying that since everyone enjoyed it so much, what was left for him? Later, as Yufei is washing dishes, she quietly walks up and hugs him from behind. Chu, concerned, reminds her that the doctor advised against normal married life for at least 2 months after delivery. Yufei smiles, saying she had no such intentions. She just wanted to give him a hug. Touched, Chu becomes emotional, pulling her into his arms and thanking her sincerely for everything she endured. The scene shifts. In the blink of an eye, 3 months pass. During this time, Chu occasionally visited the Junling group, but spent most of his time at home with Yufei and their 4 children. Yufei recovered well, returning to her pre-pregnancy figure. No one would believe she was already a mother of 4. One morning, Chu sees Yufei getting ready and asks where she is going. She explains that her 3-month leave is over and she must return to the office. Chu immediately forbids it, saying, there is no need for her to work. He can easily afford to cover all expenses for her and their 4 children. His only wish is for Yufei to be happy at home with the family, but she stands her ground, arguing that raising children isn't just one person's duty. She believes it is her responsibility to contribute to the family and that every woman should have a career and not depend solely on her husband's money. Even though Chu was now the chairman of a company worth tens of billions, Yufei still knew nothing of his true identity. Eventually, seeing her determination, Chu gives in. Her happiness was all that mattered, and he was confident that while he was home, he could handle taking care of all 4 children on his own. Just then, Chu's phone buzzes. It's his mom, sounding thrilled, saying she and dad are heading home soon. Their family debts are finally settled. They don't have to hide anymore. Thankfully, Chu already told them he earned the money through stock investments. Otherwise, explaining such a fortune would be impossible. Chu beams, welcoming them back and promising a huge surprise the moment they arrive. On the other line, his parents suddenly hear the babies crying. They're stunned. His mom realizes instantly. She's a grandmother. When Dad learns Chu and Yufei have quadruplets, 3 girls and 1 boy, he laughs with pure joy. After such hard times, peace is finally returning. Before hanging up, Mom reminds him to take great care of the babies and never ever run out of formula. Chu smiles, reassuring her everything is under control. A moment later, Shichi returns looking defeated. She just walked out of an interview at the Junling group. She had prepared for a week, but still failed. This was the 3rd rejection in a row. Her confidence is crumbling. She feels like she'll never land a job. Yufei comforts her, saying the problem isn't her ability. She just hasn't found the right opportunity yet. Chu curiously asks what she studied in college. When Shichi mentions business administration, Chu's mind immediately turns to the Junling group. He tells her the company is hiring on a large scale and she should apply. Shichi gives a bitter smile. To her, Junling is one of the city's biggest firms. They only hire from top-tier universities. Since she graduated from an ordinary school, she's convinced she doesn't stand a chance. Chu shakes his head, insisting that's not true. Junling Group values talent, even from smaller colleges. Plus, they have a vacancy for an external relations manager. It's a perfect match for her degree. Shichi is skeptical at first, but when she hears the minimum requirement is just a diploma, a glimmer of hope sparks. Motivated by Chu, she decides to interview there tomorrow. She feels incredibly grateful to him and happily accepts Yufei's dinner invitation to enjoy his cooking. Later, Chu quietly calls his secretary, Zhuo Xiaofeng. He orders her that if a girl named Chen Shichi comes for an external relations manager interview in the next 2 days, she must ensure it goes smoothly. Zhuo Xiaofeng is confused. She wonders if Shichi has some secret connection to her boss, but follows the order without a word. Later, Yechu takes the 4 babies out for a walk. He plays with them lovingly, lifting them gently into the air, while ensuring they are perfectly safe. Yufei laughs, telling him to be careful, but Yechu insists that babies need to learn courage early. Seeing him playing so happily makes the whole atmosphere vibrant. Suddenly, one baby starts crying. Yechu turns on some music to soothe them. The moment he does, the Super Dad system activates again. He receives a God-tier musical knowledge reward. In a heartbeat, he becomes a master of music theory. The system even upgrades his vocal cords. His singing voice becomes incredible. Yechu beams at the reward. When Yufei asks why he's laughing, he playfully brushes it off. While walking, Yufei suggests they buy formula, as the quadruplets are drinking more each day and her supply isn't enough. Yechu agrees. Feeding 4 hungry babies is no small task. At the store, he notices the brands are different from his previous life. He settles on a high-end imported brand that costs 1,300 yuan per can. Without hesitating, he buys all 12 cans on the shelf. The cashier is shocked, but Yechu laughs, explaining that 4 babies will finish that in no time. After paying 18,200 yuan, he has the store deliver everything to the Shanjin residents. As they walk, they pass a public singing event. Contestants could win big prizes based on judges' scores. Yufei jokingly encourages Yechu to join. The host hands him a mic and calls him up. When asked about his background track, Yechu calmly refuses. He says he needs no accompaniment. The audience is stunned. Singing without music is nearly impossible for most people. Yechu knew many of his favorite songs from his past life didn't exist here. He thinks for a moment. He decides to sing something no one there has ever heard. Instead of a track, he borrows a guitar and prepares to show off his new god-tier musical skills. Yechu picks up the guitar and dedicates the song to the girl he loves most. He wants this evening to be unforgettable for Yufei. As he begins, the crowd goes silent. The lyrics perfectly mirrored their lives. Ever since Yufei gave birth to their 4 children, Yechu had been by her side through every single moment. The guitar melody filled the air. Yufei felt like the luckiest woman alive, while for Yechu, his greatest happiness was always in Yufei. As the performance ends, the judges award him a perfect score. The audience erupts in applause, the entire event buzzing only about Yechu's performance. With one song, he becomes the star of the show. The next day, Shichi arrives at Junling Group for her interview. The receptionist leads her to a room where she meets Zhuo Xiaofeng. Zhuo Xiaofeng confirms her name, smiles, and tells her she has already passed the interview. She can start tomorrow. Shichi is completely stunned. No one looked at her resume, no one asked a single question. She just had to fill out the joining documents. Walking out of the company, one thought races through her mind. How was it all so easy? It feels like someone helped her from behind the scenes. Only one name comes to mind, Yechu. She calls Yufei immediately with the good news. Yufei is thrilled and offers her warm congratulations. Shichi says she wants to thank Yechu too, since he was the one who suggested she apply. After hanging up, Yufei excitedly tells Yechu. Yechu got the job, but he acts like he knows nothing. Shichi wants to treat them to dinner, to celebrate. Since Yufei has 4 babies at home, going out is impossible. She cancels, but Shichi insists there is no need. She claims her cooking beats any restaurant, so she brings groceries over to their place for dinner. Yufei jokes that bringing so much food will just make poor Yechu work even harder in the kitchen. While Yechu cooks, Shichi quietly approaches Yufei to ask the question that has been bothering her all day. She tells Yufei about the interview, suspecting someone pulled strings behind the scenes. She hesitates, then asks, could Yechu be the chairman of the Junlin Group? Yufei laughs loudly and dismisses the idea immediately. Yechu claimed he hadn't even started working yet. If he were a multi-billionaire chairman, why would he be home, looking after 4 babies every single day? Shichi eventually agrees, deciding it was likely just a lucky coincidence. Dinner is served. Seeing the couple together, Shichi teases them about being overly romantic in front of her. Yufei jokes that if Shichi is so curious, she should just stay the night and see everything for herself. The friends burst into laughter, teasing each other. By evening, a heavy rainstorm begins to pour outside. Worried about Shichi heading home alone, Yufei asks Yechu to drive her. Shichi tries to decline, saying she will just take a taxi, but she eventually gives in. The scene shifts to the next morning. Yechu gets a call from his mother. His parents have arrived at the airport. He rushes out excitedly. Yufei changes into nicer clothes, hoping to make a great first impression on her future in-laws. Since his Porsche is at the shop, Yechu arrives in his other luxury car. His parents are stunned. In just months, their son paid off millions in debt and bought a luxury car. Was it a relative? Seeing his confidence, they realize he earned it himself. When they reach Shanshan residence, they suspect it's rented. Yechu calmly explains he bought it. Inside, their shock deepens as they realize the extent of his success. In months, their son cleared his debts, bought a luxury apartment, got married, and became a father of 4. They can't believe this is the same Yechu they raised. They can't wait to see their 4 grandchildren. Yechu takes them to the nursery. Seeing the 4 babies brings bright, happy smiles to their faces. Yechu starts cooking for everyone. His parents are even more surprised. He couldn't even boil water as a kid. Watching him prepare a delicious meal, his father feels a sense of peace seeing his son so mature. As a husband and father, Yeqiu has become a man who handles responsibilities and cares for his family. While Yeqiu is busy, his parents chat with Yufei in the living room, learning about their life together. Looking at the 3-month-old babies, they suggest it is time to officially hold a wedding ceremony. Yeqiu and Yufei agree without hesitation, asking the elders to pick an auspicious date for the event. Later, Yeqiu invites his parents to stay with them, but they kindly refuse, having decided to return home. They believe the newlyweds need space to live their own lives, and parents shouldn't interfere in that. They promise that, whenever they miss their grandchildren, they will return to visit without any hesitation. After a long day, Yufei looks exhausted at the office. A coworker asks if she didn't sleep well. Yufei explains that the 4 babies were crying all night, leaving her with no rest at all. Her mother calls, asking how she is. She reminds Yufei to dress warmly and asks if the money was enough. She even offers to transfer another 100,000 yuan. Yufei immediately refuses, saying it is not needed. Her mother, surprised, asks if she is working again, or still upset about her not visiting lately. She explains that Yufei's father had tumor surgery, and she stayed to help with his recovery. Hearing this, Yufei asks about her father. Her mother reassures her the surgery was successful and he's healing. The scene shifts. Zhu Xiaofeng is leaving Yeqiu's home just as Yufei arrives back from the office. Her eyes land on an elegant woman leaving her house. The woman greets her as Mrs. Yi respectfully. Yufei immediately grows suspicious. Once inside, she jokingly asks Yeqiu what would have happened if she were late. Yeqiu realizes she misunderstood and quickly explains that the woman was just his secretary. Yufei falls silent. She didn't even know Yeqiu had a company or a secretary. Seeing her confusion, Yeqiu shares part of the truth, revealing he secretly invested in a company years ago without telling anyone. He became the largest shareholder, but even then, Yufei couldn't fully believe it. One question lingered. If she was just a secretary, why did she come to our house? He immediately clarifies, explaining that Xiaofeng only brought baby powder because the twins had heat rash. Right then, one of the babies starts crying. Seeing the rash on his skin, Yufei is genuinely panicked. But Yeqiu calmly reassures her. He says that during bath time, he will use that medicated baby powder and the rash will clear up after a few treatments. As Yeqiu tenderly cleans the baby's eyes, the superpower system activates again. This time, he gains a powerful ability called Eyes of Insight. With this skill, he can distinguish truth from lies, fake items, or whether a person's intentions are good or bad. He can understand it all. With such a brilliant power now in his grasp, he is surprised for a moment. When Yufei asks what happened, he just says he was pulling an eyelash out of the baby's eye. Yufei invites him over for dinner. While eating, she says they should visit her parents tomorrow so Yeqiu can meet them officially. Hearing this, Yeqiu happily agrees. But then he remembers he hasn't prepared a gift for his future father-in-law. Yufei mentions that her dad loves drinking tea and has a huge passion for collecting antiques and famous paintings. Hearing this, Yeqiu decides to visit an antique shop to buy him a great gift. At the shop, the owner excitedly starts showing off one item after another. He gets so carried away that he claims one antique belonged to an ancient emperor, but quickly corrects himself once he gets caught. After that, he shows Yeqiu a famous painting and claims it is a masterpiece by a renowned artist, an original painting. He asks for 30,000 yuan, but thanks to Eyes of Insight, Yeqiu sees through the lie instantly. The shop owner was trying so hard to sell this painting, but its true value was incredibly low. Meanwhile, tucked away among several other paintings, Yeqiu spots another painting that is actually an original masterpiece, worth a massive fortune. He smiles to himself inside and, without saying a word, chooses that very original painting. The shop owner happily completes the deal, never realizing he sold his shop's most precious treasure for a tiny fraction of its true value. The scene shifts. Yufei's parents are discussing their daughter's visit the next day. Her father is still holding on to old grudges. He remembers when Yufei got pregnant and he threw her out in a rage, believing that Yeqiu had destroyed his daughter's future. And now, she was already a mother of 4. Although he still spoke with harsh words, his wife gently reminds him that deep down, he forgave his daughter long ago. After all, Yufei was his darling daughter, and holding on to old bitterness years made no sense for the family. The next day slowly approached, and Yeqiu was quite nervous about meeting his future father-in-law. Seeing the sweat on his face, Yufei laughs and jokingly says there is no need to be scared. Her dad isn't going to eat him alive. When Yeqiu and Yufei arrive at her parents' house, her father's anger instantly boils over. As soon as his eyes land on Yeqiu, he tells him to get out of his house and asks why he abandoned his daughter before. Before things escalate, Yufei reminds her dad that he should look at his grandchildren first. Hearing this, the elderly couple's focus shifts immediately to the babies. As they lift their adorable grandchildren, all his anger slowly starts to melt away. Seeing the opportunity, Yufei's mother quietly tells Yeqiu that for the past year, no matter how stubborn her husband acted, deep inside he regretted his actions. He was just too proud to admit it. After calming down, Yufei's father looks at Yeqiu carefully for the first time. His handsome personality and respectful behavior help him understand why his daughter chose this boy through everything. After this, Yeqiu respectfully hands over the gifts he brought. He knew his father-in-law loved antiques, so he gifted him a painting, explaining it was Tang Bohu's spring dwelling in the mountains. Although Yufei's dad claims it is just a replica, the joy on his face clearly shows he loves the gift. A little later, Yufei's mother leaves to go shopping, and her father stays behind to watch all 4 babies. But it doesn't take long before 2 of them start crying at once. He gets so confused that he doesn't know which baby to soothe first. Then Ye-Chu walks up with a smile and easily handles both babies. Seeing his practice and experience, Yufei's father's heart slowly begins to change. Ye-Chu tells him sincerely that he knows he still has many grievances, but he promises that in his entire life, he will never let Yufei or their 4 children want for anything. Stubbornly, her dad says he hasn't forgiven him yet. Hearing this, Ye-Chu just smiles and says if he hadn't truly forgiven him, they wouldn't be sitting here talking so calmly today. At lunch, Yufei's mother curiously asks about Ye-Chu's work. Yufei jokingly says that if being a full-time stay-at-home dad is a profession, then that is his job. Hearing this, her parents are quite surprised that a man stays home to look after kids, while his wife goes to the office. Yufei quickly explains that even though Ye-Chu stays home every day, he has invested in many businesses and earns plenty without ever leaving the house. Meanwhile, while one baby is being fed, the baby suddenly chokes on the milk. The grandparents panic, but Ye-Chu stays completely calm and explains that the baby swallowed some air by drinking milk too fast. He gently pats the baby's back, and as the trapped air escapes, the baby is fine immediately. Seeing all this, Yufei's father is quite impressed by his childcare skills. When Yufei's mother starts preparing lunch, Ye-Chu notices that her hands still hurt after her surgery. He immediately tells her to rest and offers to do the cooking himself. She happily agrees. Soon, Ye-Chu has a table full of delicious dishes. Upon tasting the food, Yufei's father can't help but praise him. He is amazed that this boy not only handles the children well, but also knows how to cook such amazing food. Yufei's father was in a great mood today, so to celebrate, he pulls out his most special bottle of liquor. Although it hasn't been long since his surgery, he insists on drinking. Jokingly, he asks Ye-Chu if he'll pass out after just 1 glass. Ye-Chu confidently says his alcohol tolerance is just as strong as his. Hearing this, the old man laughs heartily and pours one for each of them. Drinks keep flowing. Yufei and her mother keep warning them to slow down, but they are too happy to listen. Soon, they open up emotionally, admitting that, despite the kids arriving early, their daughter deserves official status. They hand over the family registration book, urging them to get their marriage officially registered as soon as possible. Fighting back tears, he warns Ye-Chu that if he ever hurts Yufei, he will never be forgiven. Ye-Chu promises with absolute sincerity to love and care for Yufei and their 4 children forever. Her father formally entrusts her to Ye-Chu and asks when they plan on getting married. Ye-Chu respectfully leaves the date up to them, so the elders decide on next month for the wedding. Ye-Chu confidently promises to make everything perfect. After wishing the parents well, they head back home. Later, Yufei comes home stressed. Her company chose her to negotiate a partnership with the Junlin Group. Their firm is tiny compared to a giant like Junlin, making her doubt she can land the deal. She is visibly nervous, but Ye-Chu just smiles and asks if she knows his true identity. He casually admits he is the chairman of Junlin Group, but Yufei just laughs it off as a joke. She remembers a college classmate who works as a manager there, so she calls her to arrange things. Her friend agrees to set up the meeting, bringing a wave of relief and hope to Yufei. Ye-Chu just smiles, knowing she is overcomplicating a simple matter, but he keeps his secret to himself. Once she looks away, he secretly messages a senior executive at Junlin Group with clear, direct instructions. He orders that when the Holly Group representatives arrive, the partnership must be approved immediately without any issues. The executive is surprised by the blunt order, but follows it without question. President Yi's word is law. When Yufei arrives for the meeting, she runs into Liu Piao, an old college classmate. The campus beauty looks Yufei up and down with a smug smirk, assuming she is here for help. Pretending to be friendly, she offers to introduce Yufei to the manager but leads her elsewhere instead. On the way, Liu Piao reveals her true colors, demanding Yufei satisfy Director Zhang first. She admits she showed the director Yufei's photo, and he became interested, implying no partnership comes for free. She mocks Yufei, suggesting everyone has to make sacrifices to get ahead in the business world. Later, Shishi spots Yufei looking crushed and hears about the director's demands and the cruel scheme. Cece is furious, unable to believe someone who seems so professional could be such a creep. She warns Yufei to stay far away from those two, while the director waits, expecting Yufei to cave. They waste her time on purpose, lying that everyone else has left, thinking she has no other choice. Director Zhang promises he will sign the agreement if she meets his demands, but Zhu Xiaofeng enters. She immediately grills the director about why he is making decisions for the manager and exposes the truth. She details how he abused his position to force unreasonable, disgusting conditions on her friend. Before he can even utter a word of excuse, Zhu Xiaofeng fires both him and Liu Piao. He begs for another chance, crying about his home loans and ruin, but she shows zero mercy. She orders them to pack up and leave immediately, then turns to apologize to Yufei with deep respect. She calls the manager directly, and the partnership agreement between Junlin and Holly is signed without trouble. Back home, Yufei excitedly tells Yechu about the deal and recounts everything that happened at Junlin. Yechu is livid, silently swearing that no one will ever dare to bully his wife or children again. The next morning, Yechu surprises Yufei by taking her to the Civil Affairs Bureau. He explains they are finally registering their marriage, and they become husband and wife under the law. Please repeat the sentence strictly in lowercase, without punctuation and text formatting. She posts a photo with a caption saying, "The heavens have been kind to her." Returning home, they realize the 4 babies have been left with family and have developed diarrhea. The family is panicked, and Yufei's mother blames herself for not taking proper care of the kids. She wants to rush to the hospital, but Yichu stays calm, explaining it is common for babies. Using his vast parenting knowledge, he treats the babies himself, and they start feeling better very quickly. Seeing this, Yufei stares at Yechu with admiration. Like always, he surprised everyone with his capabilities. Shortly after, Yechu receives a call from the Junlin group. Staff mention their new Huawei smartphone launches in an hour, asking if, as always, he will attend the press conference. Yechu agrees, promising to arrive at the company soon. The scene shifts, and there, Shichi spots someone looking exactly like Yechu. Though unsure, she tells Yufei. Hearing this, for the first time, doubt creeps into Yufei's heart. She wonders if Yechu is hiding a massive secret. As their wedding day approaches, Yechu decides he will craft the most special wedding ring for Yufei. While shopping, he bumps into his old friend Chao Jie. Chao Jie, having seen their marriage announcement on social media, smiles and offers congratulations, joking that Yechu is marrying the girl many others once admired. When Yechu mentions he's looking for a high-quality diamond ring, Chao Jie confidently promises he will arrange the perfect ring for him. As they talk, news spreads across the city that the Junlin Group has officially launched its new smartphone. Though priced at 10,000 yuan, its futuristic holographic display causes an internet frenzy. Everyone is praising its innovative design. Later, when Yufei returns home, she spots the new smartphone in Yeku's hand. She is completely shocked, as the phone was only in pre-order stage and not yet available to normal customers. Yufei can no longer control her curiosity and asks Yeku directly if he is hiding something from her. At first, Yeku tries to brush it off, but Yufei asks if he went to the Junlin group today. Yeku realizes there is no point in hiding the truth, so he admits he did go to the Junlin group, as it was the day of their new smartphone launch. Hearing this, Yufei gets even more confused. She says such events are usually attended by the company owner. Yeku repeats what he has said many times before. He is the chairman of the Junlin group. Seeing all these signs and gathering so many clues, Yufei finally believes that Yeku has been telling the truth all along. The scene shifts. Even after knowing his true identity, Yufei feels managing a massive company like Junlin Group is beyond her. But Yechu steps in to encourage her, suggesting she join the company and help manage the business together. However, Yufei immediately refuses. She explains her degree is in dance, not business management, so she feels she is not up to the task. Yekio just smiles, promising there are capable assistants who will help her with everything. Bolstered by his words, Yufei finally agrees to join the company.